Meguiar's is one of the biggest names in car cleaning, but they're not always the cheapest. So today I'm testing these products properly to find out which ones are actually worth your money and which ones are put back on the shelf. To find out what's really worth buying, I've bought in a car that's well overdue a rescue. And this one hasn't been washed since this time last year. So if these products are going to impress me, this is where they need to prove it. Let me give you a quick rundown of some of the chemicals we're going to be using, and I will show you the rest later in the video. Let's start off with Meguiar's Ultimate Wheel Cleaner. Now, the last time I used this was live on Channel 4 as it happens. I had to teach some politician how to wash his car using just whatever we could grab on the high street, and this happened to be one of those products. This wheel cleaner has so many strong points. It's acid-free, it's pH neutral, so you don't really need to worry about the risk of causing any damage on your alloys. But here's the thing that really may win many of you over. There is no foul smell. And to me, that's a big deal because it's one of my pet hates. I remember back in the day when I had to use 2-in-1 wheel cleaners or fallout removers all the time. My clothes stank and so did the washing machine, so I had to constantly wash them separately. It was very frustrating. Now, if we look at the reviews for the Ultimate Wheel Cleaner, it scores around 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon, and that's from over 7,500 reviews, which I think is phenomenal. Let's talk about the pre-wash now, because this is where I experienced my first issue. So I went online, I ordered some snow foam, and it clearly said it was in stock. So the following day I went to collect it, there was nothing there for me at all. And then I went back online to try and find it elsewhere from other retailers. And it turns out there's just many who are either sold out, or others even said to me, it's gone and it's not coming back. Even if you go on the Halfords website right now, you cannot order it for home delivery because either they're replacing it with something newer, or perhaps there's just simply no more coming to the UK. So what's the solution? Well, I managed to get my hands on their heavy-duty all-purpose cleaner, which could be a better alternative because let's face it, snow foams can be a bit hit and miss. And you still have to go to the aggro of buying the foam cannon, which may just stretch your wallet. So I'd like to see what we can achieve with this one chemical using it solely as a pre-wash. Now, whenever something says heavy duty, it means aggressive, but this has been marketed as heavy duty, but then they list a whole other bunch of uses. And I'm just going to read some of them out now. So you can use it on wheel arches, tyres, vinyl, trim, carpet, fabric seats, rubber, metal, chrome, not so sure, but we'll see, running boards and mud flaps. That's a pretty bold claim, and later in the video we'll see whether they can back that up. Anyway, let's move on to Meguiar's Gold Class Shampoo. Now, I've been looking forward to this one because it's been such a long time since I last used it. I remember many years ago when I was out on the road cleaning cars 24/7, my customer gave me a bottle, and in his words, he said this was the very best car shampoo he had ever used. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I won't reveal what happened, otherwise there's no point in you watching the segment later, but from my understanding, this contains gloss enhancers. Now, Meguiar's describes the formula as containing luxurious lather and rich conditioners that nourish the paintwork and reveal this shimmering gloss. That sounds pretty impressive for the weekend warrior. And I do see a lot of people using the shampoo through a foam cannon, so considering we don't have a snow foam, I might use it later on to assist with the contact wash. We still have plenty more products to check out later in the video, but right now I want to get outside and show you exactly what I'm working on. The car of choice on this beautiful day was a bright, vibrant Fiat 500, or at least it used to be. After a year of dirt, grime and everyday neglect, that cheerful little car was looking seriously sorry for itself. And this one actually belongs to my auntie, who's been going through a bit of a tough time recently. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to cheer her up by putting the Meguiar's range to the test, and hopefully give her Fiat the fresh start it deserves. For wheel number 1, I'm using the spray, rinse and brush method, so I won't be introducing any contact until the first layer has fully activated, and then it's been rinsed off. By doing this, I can ensure the safest possible wash without the risk of scratches. The initial rinse didn't really do a great deal, so I did a bit more spraying and brushing to get into the gaps. I then switched to the wheel mitt to speed up the process, and it offered a better coverage. However, I did need to be thorough to shift that brake dust. Thankfully, wheel number 2 had less dirt to contend with. So, naturally, I tried the same method again. And this time it only took a few minutes to bring it back to a much cleaner, sharper finish. I decided to mix it up for wheel 3, so I chose to go hard with the chemical and let it dwell. But instead of rinsing away, I simply jumped in with the brushes on the alloys and tyres. It was at this moment I realised the wheel cleaner wasn't quite cutting it for me. But we have to remember these wheels haven't been cleaned for an entire year. So in reality, I reckon I could have done with something stronger like an alkaline cleaner. And it's not to say I didn't get them clean, but it did take longer than I previously expected. And with warmer conditions like I had today, I was definitely feeling the frustration. Wheel number 4 was pretty much the same process. And depending on how much you love your car, this could be seen as a good thing or a bad thing. Some people would argue that going straight in with brushes while the cleaner is dwelling could risk scratching the wheel. And to be fair, I do understand that point. But the problem with rinsing first is you're then spraying the wheel cleaner onto a wet surface, which can dilute the chemical and make that second hit slightly weaker. That being said, there's still other things you need to consider. On a hot day, you don't want the product to dry out. And not every dirty wheel is covered in brake dust. Some might be muddy or full of loose grit. And in that case, I'd definitely rinse the wheel before spraying. So there's no perfect rule here, just simply judge the wheel in front of you and pick the best process for that situation. The next chemical in action was the heavy duty cleaner, which I thought I'd use to help finish off the wheels and tyres. And immediately I wish I'd used it sooner, because within seconds it kicked in, and boy, what a result it was producing. With the wheels successfully complete, it was time to move on to the areas that often get forgotten. The lower third, the fuel flap and the door shuts. These are the places where grime really builds up over time, especially on a car that hasn't been cleaned for a year. So for this stage, I needed something with a bit more bite, which is where the heavy-duty all-purpose cleaner came in handy. When I first started this clean, I wondered why they didn't have the snow foam in stock, but after using the cleaner, I think I now know why. You simply didn't need it. The second that pressure washer came into contact with the cleaner, all the dirt was pretty much gone, and at the end of the day, this is exactly what most people need. Even the door shuts came up brilliantly. No hassle, no effort, just instantly clean. So there really is nothing to complain about. However, now it would face a real challenge. Feeling confident, I moved on to the soft top roof, where my auntie's Fiat had year-long drops of bird poo, which had dried into the weave, and over time it gradually gets worse, so stains started to occur in the material. This meant I had one heck of a mission on my hands, but would it be the ultimate test for the ultimate heavy-duty cleaner? After several attempts, I had to concede on this one because I had a tight deadline to clean and film this car before it had to go back. Sadly, on this occasion, it just didn't quite cut through the poo. However, it would be a tough one for any cleaner. By now, it was starting to get really hot, so I felt a slight drop in energy levels. But I was still hopeful the Gold Class shampoo could sort out the bodywork before I got the car back inside the studio. In terms of suds, were they the thickest? No, not really, but it didn't stop being a million times better than some of the previous shampoos I've tested. For the passenger side, I decided to try the shampoo in my DTLR foam cannon to see whether it could improve the clean in any shape or form. And you know what? It did. Despite the direct sunlight being present, it wasn't going to stop the Gold Class shampoo from performing. I got lots of lubricity, I got no streaks whatsoever, and I would say you'd be very happy using it. We still have more tests to carry out on the exterior, but now I'd like to take a look at Meguiar's interior detailer, because this is another highly rated product with exceptional reviews. So basically, the interior detailer is designed to clean and protect your car's interior in one simple step. Now, you can use it on things like the dashboard, the door panels, the center console, and even navigation screens. So this should be able to remove your everyday dirt and marks, and they're saying that it's got an added UV protection which can prevent any further fading caused by the sun. Apparently it dries quickly and it doesn't feel greasy, and it's supposed to leave behind this nice satin finish, so we will see in a moment's time. Basically, instead of just cleaning the interior, it also helps protect it and keep it looking fresher for longer. I would say this would be suitable for those cleans maybe every once a month or every couple of weeks. I think if you had a horrendously filthy car, then I would suggest using something that can break down all that dirt instead of finessing it. I liked the interior detailer. It was very simple to use, it didn't feel greasy, and you could feel that barrier in action. However, the plastics on the Fiat 500 wasn't exactly what I'd call terrible, so I needed something a bit more challenging. And as it happens, I have just the car for the job. The trim on the Audi A6 is pretty filthy, so it would be interesting to see what realistic results I can achieve from the interior detailer and the heavy-duty multi-purpose cleaner. Using just the interior detailer, a scrub pad and a microfiber cloth, I managed to clean up the plastics easily. But it wasn't just the cleaning power that impressed me. The finish was very desirable too. For the passenger side, I had to go with the heavy-duty cleaner, which foamed up a lot more, and working alongside the scrub pad, it offered a deeper clean. The only drawback is you don't get that fresh finish like the interior detailer, but still, it was another win for Meguiar's. It even worked brilliantly on the mats. A simple spray and a scrub was easily enough to tidy them up. At this point, the car was coming up nicely, but there was still one area looking a bit tired, so I went digging for the next product. So let's have a look inside my box. Well, as it's show car season, you will see an influx of Quik detailer purchases. So I had a choice between Meguiar's Ultimate Quik Detailer or their Gold Class Premium Quik Detailer. Now, to be honest, the Gold Class looked a bit old-fashioned for me, and the Quik Detailer, the Ultimate, had a new improved formula, so there was only ever going to be one winner. So if your car needs just a quick refresh, then this should be able to do it with no problems. And it is another bigger bottle. And I have to say, in the last video we featured the Slick Pete's Car Care. They came in 1 litre bottles, and I felt they were just a little bit too big for me. 700 mils is the perfect sweet spot. So let's give this a quick test, then I'll reveal what else is in my box. Meguiar smashed it out the park with this Quik detailer. The whole process was effortless, and I managed to get a streak-free glossy finish in no time at all. Not sure if you can hear this, but have a listen. This paintwork is very rough. That's not good, is it? My poor auntie, she lives near a train crossing, so the trains are always slowing down as there's a station nearby. And that means all the iron particles from the tracks and the wheels or whatever, they then get put up into the atmosphere, and unfortunately it has to settle somewhere, so it chooses to settle on my Auntie Sandra's Fiat. One of the biggest issues I'm finding with modern Quik detailers is the lack of simple options out there. It seems like they're always trying to add ceramic properties or create complex spray waxes, when the reality is most users just want something that's easy. And I feel that Meguiar's listened and delivered. I bought the Endurance High Gloss Tyre Gel because this was another strong contender, which many reviews share positive opinions on, and a lot of the feedback I've seen says it gives a really high gloss. Now, it's definitely going to be subjective because some people just love glossy tyres, others hate it. In my opinion, I prefer the matte finish because I think that dripping wet look gets associated with cheap hand car washes. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just find, in my opinion, there's a very good reason why those places just slap on the tyre gel, and it's normally because they're trying to cover up a really poorly finished job. Could the Endurance Tyre Gel offer a glossy finish without all the mess? Well, I would say yes. It didn't take me long to realise just how good this gel was. I did have to be extra thorough to work it into the tyres, but the longer I left it, the better the finish. And I would say from an enthusiast point of view, you can see why it gets so much praise. And for somebody who hates glossy tyres like myself, I would have to say this was winning me over. Given everything I tested, I reckon I did pretty well because I saved myself some money by not getting the snow foam. And although you could argue that it's not the safest method to wash your car, I still think based on the condition it did an excellent job. And we still have the finished results to reveal, so make sure you stick around till the end. Overall, I was very impressed with almost everything. The only product I wasn't massively thrilled with was that wheel cleaner. Now there was a tiny odour, you could smell it, but it was still nicer than some of the other chemicals I've used in the past where you had that horrible stench. But I just felt if you really wanted to get the best out of that wheel cleaner, you had to get hands-on if you wanted to stand a chance of getting them clean. And I don't know whether you would have noticed in that footage, I didn't exactly get those wheels perfect by any means. So I just feel in real world conditions, if I wasn't filming, this would have taken a heck of a lot longer. Out of the 6 chemicals that are tested, if I had to pick just one that I couldn't live without, I would say it would have to be the heavy duty all-purpose cleaner. There's so many uses for this, honestly I barely scratched the surface today. Now look, there's no doubt about it, Meguiar's make some seriously epic products, and as always I will leave links in the description below where you can get everything featured in today's video. Now it was this time last year when I had to clean that exact Fiat 500, but instead of using high quality car cleaning products, I had to use the cheapest things I could possibly find, and they came from Lidl. To find out how I got on, you can watch this video right here.